Okay, so all right, finally, after at least a year, we're here with Erin Sena, the amazing vocalist of Hard Candy, and she's got some other things going on she's going to tell us about. So thank you, Erin, for being here.
That's my pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks for coming and having some beer with me.
Yeah, this is quite the experience.
So I want to back up actually and go back. I mean, everybody knows you around here. They know that you're the vocalist of Hard Candy.
Everybody knows.
Yeah. I mean, you guys play like 9,000 shows a year, right? I mean,
We're
you're
in Time
everywhere.
magazine.
That's right, and you've been at the Grammys 17 times, right?
I'm not going to say you're wrong.
Okay. But anyway, let's go back. To me, you've always, and we're going way back to the beginning, you've always had this you've got an exotic look about you. Kind of Scandinavian, and I'm kind of cheating because I know your lineage is German and two other things.
I got some German. It's mostly Norway. Well, on both sides. My mother's dad was fully Norwegian, and my dad's dad is Portuguese. So I got like a little soup going.
But you were born in California, is that right?
Yes, yeah. I was born in Eureka, California, but I didn't really grow up there.
Where'd you grow up at?
I grew up in Boone, North Carolina.
Boone, I know Boone.
Yeah.
How'd you end up there?
Ding, ding, ding. Just family issues. When I was about 4 years old when I moved there, and I did all my school in there, and basically no music. I was in one band in high school, and that's how I met my husband, or fiance. We've been together for 10 years. It's
really that long?
Yeah.
Wow.
And he's now my drummer. He continues to be a cog in my machine.
Right.
Forever.
So you still got the long hair?
Yes, he does. He's
funny.
Really let it go.
He had short hair, and I had long hair. I cut my hair off, and he let his grow. So I don't know if there's some kind of symbiosis there or something, but... So anyway, you started...
You could be right.
Maybe, you never know. So, California to North Carolina, how did you get here?
Oh, man. My drummer boy. I was fresh out of high school. After graduation, he told me that he was moving here. There was nothing else left for him in Boone, and I was like, there's nothing left for me either, let's leave. And I came here, and within maybe a year or so, I started, word got out that I could sing, and that's where it kind of snowballed from there. I always wanted to do this, but I've never had the, it was a long time for me to find the confidence to even step in front of a crowd, or let alone talk to someone.
That's amazing, because you're better than like 100% of the singers around here. So,
No,
it's hard to imagine that you would...
I've definitely heard some good singers.
Yeah, but I mean, you are definitely one of them. I guess for people like me, we're surprised.
I'm happy to be a part of that community. I'm happy to be a part of the club. I don't have to feel so isolated anymore.
So I never knew this. You know, I've known you since I think 2018. I think was when we did our very first interview.
I moved here in 2012.
Yeah. But I never knew that Ryan was with you in Boone.
Yeah, we went to high school together.
No shit.
Yeah, dude, it's been crazy.
And is there any reason why both of you came down here?
He has family down here, and I was just kind of under his wing. There was nothing really for me. I thought I was living a pretty different life than what I was now.
So you came down here in 2012?
Yeah.
All right, so then there's like about, 4 years between the time you got here and the time of Hard Candy?
Yeah, pretty much.
So what'd you do for those 4 years?
Well, I played with this man named Dave. He was I think he was a minister, and he worked at the college. He worked at the college with my fiance's mom. So she told him, like, oh, I've got this great girl that can sing. And I was with him for like a short few months. After that, I got a message from Ron, Big Ron Garman.
Garman, yeah.
Yeah, and he wanted me to be a part of his Copperhead band. and that was the first show I played in Watering Hole. I was just this little twig with bangs.
Hmm. So, how did that go?
Wow, it was nice to surprise people. Does it sound conceited to say that I always knew that I could sing?
No.
But it was very awkward for me to show it off without looking like an asshole, you know? So I had to find a right opportunity. I'm sure there were tons, but not to my knowledge. I was put in front of a crowd and I had a flame under my ass. So I sang and I did it. I actually impressed someone, and I wanted more of it.
So is that when you knew you wanted to be a singer, or did that happen earlier?
I've always wanted to be a singer.
How long back can you remember?
Forever.
Ever?
I've always been surrounded by music. And my parents are big musicians. My mother is a soprano. She sang for the San Francisco Symphony, and my dad worked for a music magazine. He played guitar, sung us our lullabies. It's a beautiful voice and writer. I was always just nurtured in that way.
So it's kind of in your genes then, I guess, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm sure anyone can do it. You need to be. It's really nurture.
But it's kind of cool, I guess. So early on, you had a purpose. I mean, you knew what you were going to do.
Yeah, I was probably foolish too. I was told a lot that it wasn't really a career for me to dive headfirst into, because it's not likely to happen for everyone. It's a lot of commitment, and you just have to be committed to it.
Now, you probably already know this, but I can't tell you how many interviews I've listened to with people that said, people told me, this is not a good career field. You should be an accountant or proctologist or sword swallower or something other than a musician. But
Wow.
But if it's in your heart, I mean, you're kind of driven, right? When you say, I mean, artistic people are kind of driven, it's not necessarily always just what I want to do, it's what I have to do. Would you say that's accurate?
That doesn't apply to me. I'm sure that it does for some people. But there's never, ever been a time where I've been exhausted with what I'm doing. Like, I can never switch it off. I go home and I set my shit up again, and I sing more. I love it.
I was going to ask you about that. I was going to ask you, being a singer by profession, do you go home and just watch soap operas or shut it down, or do you stay connected with music? Do you go home and you're still into music?
Oh, sure. I have my lazy days. I definitely do. There are days where I do just nothing.
But is music always like in there?
There has not been a day where I don't go without singing. I'm always singing.
I remember I came to your house that one day after the interview was printed to bring you some papers. I walked up to your door, and before I even knocked, I could hear you inside singing.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know if you remember that, but you were
That's
singing.
happened to me a lot. A lot of people have walked in on me, and I let them have it.
I was thinking.
I almost killed you that day.
But it was cool. I was thinking, oh, that's cool. She's really into this. She's singing on her day off in her house by herself.
I really, really am. I'm happy to be in a band with just as much enthusiasm as me.
So,
I love the band I'm in.
So let's talk
love
about.
people I am.
Are you referring to Hard Candy, I believe? Because I know you got another thing going on, but
yes,
you're
I'm
talking about Hard Candy, right? So let's
Yes,
talk
sir.
about that right now. Then, who are the? I think I know the lineup, but has it changed lately? Who's in the band right now?
Oh, well, we got Davis Vickers on. He's the bass slapper. We got his father, Rob Vickers, and on the guitar, and we got my hubby on the drums, and me on the keyboard and vocals.
Okay, so the lineup's been stable then for what, a couple of years, maybe?
For about 2 years.
Yeah. So I know Dave.
Yeah, Dave DeLay was our bassist for the longest.
And then Andrew, but they've gone their own way, and
Yeah.
and so you guys are still continuing. How is it going? Is Hard Candy still doing? You guys?
Yes.
Still
yeah,
doing
we're
pretty
still
good?
playing every weekend. We're playing tonight's Pride Fest, actually.
And how far out do you go? It's not just local, right? I mean, you go.
The
at
furthest
least
we've
a
gone
little-
was Okeechobee,
Okay.
but it's hard to find gigs out there when it's just through like when you don't have like a lot of reference. I'm just calling in, being like, hey, I got this band. Believe me, it's the best band you've ever heard. I'm sure they've heard that a lot.
Yeah. But in your case, it might be true.
I can't blame them for that though. I'd have to go there in person. I'd have to do my part and actually prove it. Maybe if we made a demo tape, but we don't do a lot of work in that department. We go and we do our thing. We don't have
Mostly a
any
live
merch.
band.
There are things that we need to get on top of, but we're just
Well,
we're
I guess one thing at a time.
so
huh?
distracted.
So, do you have a following in Okeechobee? I mean, do people know who you are down there?
We got a following, little pieces all over, all over. We got people in Michigan, in
Really?
North Dakota, in Colorado, North Carolina. Some people from California. It comes in small doses. Mostly, it's local. But we got the people that come in on their vacations, and we play at the big venues where they just sell for a drink and they run into a band that they enjoy.
Well, I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, you're an extraordinary vocalist. I don't know how
appreciate that.
comfortable
Thank
you
you.
are with that, but you are. You stand out head and shoulders above probably, I'd say, 90-95% of
Thank you. I
singers
try
I've
really
seen.
hard. I really like the attention. I need good or bad attention all the time.
I think that's probably part of what makes people performers, don't you? I mean, they like to perform. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that because people like me like to go see
enjoy it
people
all.
perform. I mean, there's nothing wrong with liking to perform. You should.
I like seeing people get up there and do their thing. And there's some people that get up on stage and just know that they belong there. And there's something about that. I don't have it per se, but I love to witness it. Maybe I'll get to that point.
You might be closer than you think. I mean, you're definitely an entertainer. You're not just a performer. It's entertaining to watch you perform.
I've heard that a lot. Yeah.
And a lot of people, and personally for me, I have this thing. I don't like to go see a band. I don't like to pay money to see a band play that looks like they're waiting for the bus. You know what I mean? They're just like standing there. There's no energy. There's nothing happening on stage. And then so there's nothing happening in the crowd because there's no energy in the room. And to me, it's like a waste of
I
money.
can get that. That's easy to kind of drown out in the background. Yeah, I'd hate to be viewed as that kind of band, though.
Well, you guys, Hard Candy has never been that band to me. I mean, I've seen you guys a lot.
I hope so. We do have our opinions sometimes. I got like an attitude problem, that I'm a little too eccentric on stage. I've gotten a lot of accusations of being on drugs.
Well, who cares?
I cared.
I mean, you do what you do. I mean, you're never going to satisfy everybody.
Yeah, that's very true.
If you're just going to try to
focus
do
a lot on that.
if all you're going to do is like Leonard Skinner covers and shit, are you really going to be
Hey,
happy?
nothing wrong with that.
I mean, there's not, but I'm just saying around here that's kind of a thing.
It's kind of the norm. I mean, not Leonard Skinner, but like there is definitely a pattern to these the playlists in the bands that play here locally.
But do you feel like, I mean, for you, do you have to do music that interests you? I mean, do you want to just go by the numbers and play for the crowd, or do you want to play music you like to do?
That's a good question. That's what we do. We don't really care about what the audience wants to hear. I mean, we definitely choose we should throw some dance songs in there. Maybe we should choose something that's a little bit more heavy for like the later sets.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we should play something for the dinner crowd, but we don't play I get so many requests to do that Janis Joplin song. What was that? Bobby McGee.
Yeah.
The answer is no. The answer is never. I won't do that song.
So you're done with that song? Done it too many times?
It's just that's almost the typical female lead singer song.
Yeah. And you don't want to be that.
I
right?
started there and I don't want to go back.
I can
I'm already
understand
to a point where I feel like I have the freedom to choose what I want and not get a lot of backlash.
So how is the struggle for you trying to balance between what you think the audience wants to hear and what you as an artist want to do? I mean, how does that work out?
That's also a good question. Um, I don't know. I question. Sometimes I do think about it.
Do you generally do you do what you want to do?
Oh, always.
Always? Well, then that's
Always.
good. I think that's probably more the sign of an artist than a musician. In my opinion, a musician is just out there to make money and they'll play whatever they got to play to get a check. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But I think an artist is like, no, I got a vision and this is my music and this is what I'm going to do.
We're a lot easier to scam.
Right. But of course, and at the same time, you're doing covers and there's nothing at all wrong with that. And here's a question, as a matter of fact, it was one of the very first ones I was going to ask you. You do a lot of different styles in a show.
Yeah.
So do you think that helps you as a singer? Does it broaden your abilities as a singer, do you think? Or
I got a really good compliment once saying that I had a really good gymnastics with my voice. I really take that to heart. I like doing all the parts. When I was young, I didn't have a band or people to work with to like kind of counter off these options. But so I was just like, I'm gonna do everything. I'm gonna make my own merch. I'm gonna write my own songs. I'm gonna promote myself. It's not as easy as that.
it's a lot to do, isn't it?
You need people. You need friends.
Hang on, I want to see. Okay, I want to move on to. You've got another project going on, right?
Yeah.
Outside of town. So can we talk
that's
about
exciting. Sure. It's a little under the radar for me, but I made some good friends this past year. Before I met Dave Fortman, there was a local musician named Ray Sebring,
Oh yeah.
and he let me record in his house, and he sent it off to one of his friends, and it was just like a domino effect. His friend knew Dave Fortman, and I don't know how I got there. It was just luck.
Yeah, me and David over there. We're friends with Ray. But that had to be encouraging. I mean, because Dave Fortman is no slouch. I mean, I know Dave. He worked on Evanescence's first album, Fallen, which was huge.
I can't
He's worked
believe
with
the connection that had with me as a child, because I remember watching Amy Lee on TV
Yeah.
thinking, oh.
And she's fantastic. And now you're working with the same guy that worked with her.
It really blows my mind.
So
I really hope I'm gonna work for it. I'm gonna make sure I'm worth it.
So how does that work? I mean, once you met him, I mean, what is he to you? Is he your producer? Is he kind of a trainer, or what is he doing for you?
He told me he's my producer. He said he's putting me on his solo album. He was gonna just release the album himself with his own vocals. It's all his lyrics, all of his music. It's just he heard my voice and went, I want you there. I want you to sing these songs. And if this album doesn't do what I expect it to, then I'm there for you. I'm gonna do what it takes to make sure that I'm working with you.
That's amazing.
And that was so
How does that
nice
make
to
you
hear.
feel?
The gravity of it is still hitting me.
I mean, that's pretty much big league, wouldn't you say? I mean, Dave Fortman's not a nobody.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that this would happen to me when I was like 20 years old, and I was excited like my whole life, and then as soon as like I started reaching my mid-20s, I'm almost 29. Like I started learning to be like, even if it's just this, I'm happy doing this. I was accepting my fate wherever it may be, just as long as it's with music. I don't care where it is. I just want to play. I just want to keep playing.
So
But this is lucky. I'm lucky to have this.
and I'm really interested in this part of your career path. So how is Dave? Is he nice? Is he a good guy?
He
I don't
is
know how much
fun.
you want to
He's a
say
good
here, but
guy.
is he?
Yeah,
He's not
yeah,
like
I
a
love
tyrant.
him. Every second, I love it. I've never been in a recording studio like that before, and since it wasn't like a bunch of amateur kids working with Pro Tools, it seemed very real, very raw and authentic, and I was just like, this is just makes me more excited. I want more of this.
Was it kind of overwhelming to be in that world where you're up in more rare air than what you're used to be?
When I was playing with Lilium, the band that Ray Sarbone's friend, his name is Scott Kraling.
Was that the metal? thing you
Yeah,
were
I was in
doing?
a metal band, Lilium, and I wrote the lyrics for that. But, I'm sorry, I forgot where I was going with that. It's
Talking about Lillian and
Lilium.
Dave Fortman and
That's it. I'm sorry, it completely slipped my mind again.
well, then let
Oh
me.
yes, yeah. When I was playing with Lilium, we had our first show at South Street, and there was this band that was opening for us. That was, they were so good. They were just completely out of my league, and that was the first time I felt like inferior, and like this fear, like, oh my God, this might, like, this might be, like, put stop to what I'm doing here. Like, maybe I don't have what it takes. But I want to give that feeling the way that band did for me. I want to rile up a crowd. I want to give them like this rile up feeling. Like, I want you to riot the streets. I want you to write your name in gasoline, light that shit on fire. I want that desperately. And since I've been working with Dave and Scott, that fire in me is there.
Now, who is Scott? You mentioned Scott.
Scott, he's the one that basically started Lilium.
Okay.
He's
What's
the
his
one
last
that
name?
his name is Scott Kraling.
Okay.
He lives in Fort Myers, and that's Ray Sarbone's friend. I recorded in his house, and he sent him a demo of my singing. And he came down to Lake Placid, and he was like, "Yes, I want you."
So is Lilium still a thing?
Not really. It's kind of died off. It's kind of no. It's strictly me and Dave now.
Did you tell me one time, I could be wrong here, so please correct me, but
Sure.
did you say Lilium was not really what you wanted to do? It wasn't the kind of thing you wanted to do?
Yeah, pretty much. That's it sounds harsh. I really liked the band. It was my own lyrics, written against someone else's tracks. It was basically what I wanted to do, because I'm not really good at writing my own unique tracks. But it was I think they were all in like drop D, or they were keyed very low, or like in Godsmack's
Yeah,
key tones,
real
and it
heavy
was very
stuff.
hard to write different songs. They seemed kind of derivative after a while.
I guess there's only so many ways you can write about killing somebody. I don't know if that's what you guys did, I'm not sure. But I mean, usually that heavy stuff is, kind of rooted in violence. And by the way, this urine sample is really good. I don't know whose it is, but cheers.
Is it humans?
It's not mine. I know my own flavor. It's yours? Okay.
Mine's purple.
Sorry, we're digressing, I guess, but anyway.
Mine's got a little blood in there.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that, I guess. There's some
There's
vitamins
something
in
wrong
there.
with me.
Okay, so anyway,
All right, jug one down. Let's go.
so what about Dave Fortman? Is there anything else to be said about him? I'm really intrigued by what you got going on. And
It's
what
a
is
life I've never
the
known. You
what
choose
is
this
the
right.
end game here? I mean, what do you guys, you and Dave, what are you guys heading for?
I think it's just more music. Anything that we can come up with, just more projects are added, and I love it. I never want to stop. And whatever he wants to do, he's working on Godsmack's album right now, which is why things for his solo album have kind of slowed down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh shit, dude, do what you gotta do, big cunta, get it. But
Is there any plans, like, to tour or anything like that? Have
he
you
talks
breached
about
that?
it. He says that it could possibly happen by like September, he gives me all these dates. I don't want to hold him to it, but he keeps talking about like going to Europe, to Japan.
Wow.
I'm like, it's a lot to think about.
Yeah.
But I'm just here, man. I'm just here to be thrown around like a bag in the wind.
Well, you know, several bands have really made it big in Japan. I mean, Cheap Trick, they exploded in
Oh,
Japan.
Yeah,
You know.
I really enjoy them.
So, I mean, you know, maybe that's a good thing. I mean, can it be a bad thing? Do you want to do it?
I don't care where I am. I don't care if I'm playing in bars for the rest of my life. I love it.
Just as long as you can do it?
Just as long as I can do it.
Well, good. I'd say that's a sign of an artist. Somebody loves what they're doing.
Or it's really sad. I don't know. Either way, I'll take it. I'm glad that I can entertain people. I haven't disappointed anyone yet, and I hold on to that dearly.
Well, cool. Well, I'm going to go off script here in just a minute and ask, are we okay on time right now?
26 right now.
26?
Ooh.
Okay. Wave at me at 30.
Yeah, just give you a little.
All right. So I want to ask you a few more random questions. And I'm also trying to anticipate what other people might want to ask you. Is like, what do you do when you're not, like, your downtime, when you got nothing to do? What do you like
I
to do?
masturbate a lot.
Oh, excellent.
No, usually just we live in Ryan's mom's house, so I like to take care of it. I do a lot of time cleaning, and then when I'm done with all of my chores, I go to the gym because I'm that kind of a guy, and I'll come back and I practice. I can't switch it off. I sing all day.
And I guess if you're masturbating, you got to time that out too, right?
That's at least 3 hours of work, so that's out of the way.
Well,
And
lot
it's
to be said
exhausting,
about
so
it.
like a quick nap afterwards.
as opposed to a cigarette, right? You don't smoke, do you?
smoke.
Good. I don't recommend it.
I think that would throw a huge wrench in what I'm trying to do now.
What, masturbating or smoking?
Awesome. Smoking.
Okay. All right, the tech guys are like throwing up. Hey, it is what it is. It's a real world. All right, I had
So
another.
I thought everyone would want to know that.
Hey, some people do. Some people like it. Look at me, I'm drinking a urine sample. So, I did want to ask you, I know you do all kinds of styles of music. What styles will you not do? What do you hate?
Country.
Country?
Oh, well, let me rephrase that. Modern day country, like pop country.
Oh, I hate that
like
stuff.
When I first started in Copperhead, they had me learn some Miranda Lambert songs, and that took me a while. Because I was open to it. I was like, I can sing that, and I learned the lyrics, and I was just like, oh my God, Ryan, these are so stupid. If I go on, like my tongue is gone from how hard I'm biting it.
Mm.
But you know, you do it. I made a lot of faces. That's a terrible quality I have, is that you can just read my face.
Mm. So why were you doing country anyway if you didn't want to?
Because I was in the band.
And they
do it for
wanted to
them.
do it?
Yeah.
And for the crowd? Was it for the crowd?
I guess so. I mean, that was. I think that those were songs that they already learned, and to save time, they're like, just learn the lyrics, and we'll get the show off the road.
All right then. So we're back, and before we get back into the life of the future megastar Erin Sena, I want to thank Turn 2 because they've allowed us to be here at their brewery and their bar to do this thing. So, and the beer is awesome here. They've got all kinds. You can see the vats behind us. They brew their own beer here. This is not a place you come for a Coors or a Light or a Bud Light. They make their own beer, and it's amazing, and that's what we're having right now. I'm drinking the honey wheat, and I love it. It's fantastic. If you haven't ever been here, come here and try out their craft beers. These guys make some great shit. So
And good piss as well.
That's right. Cheers. So
Hey,
let me get a drink and we'll continue.
That's a good one. You can tell that's good by the clink.
That's right. And this one, there may be some antibiotics in. I'm kidding. The beer here is fantastic. I love this place.
Oh, that's too good. That's just sweet. Oh,
It's good, isn't it?
yeah. It's like it tastes like.
Yeah, I know. Some of their beer is like, it almost doesn't even taste like
Very
beer.
pungent.
So we want to just say thanks to Herb Summer, the owner here. He let us come in and do this interview.
He's paying us to say that.
Yeah, he's paying us to say that. No, he didn't. But anyway, so it's cool. You can see the beer vats back here. That's where we're at. Come down here if you're local in Sebring. Come down here and check him out. He's a good guy. He's got a cool place going on. And okay, Erin, as we talked about off camera, I want
What
to.
were we talking about? I kind of trailed off. I just kind of zoned out.
That's okay. I'll remind you. We were discussing what life is really like for a performer. Behind the scenes, not just on the stage, and the things you go through mentally and the demands people place on you. So, do you remember the conversation?
I guess I can only speak from my. Excuse me. For myself.
Right. Of course.
I enjoy everything that I do. I enjoy all the music that we pick out. We unanimously agree on. We're like, hey, we pitch songs together. It's a lot of fun. But we'll play some songs that, of course, are very popular in all demographics. They love hearing like Earth, Wind, and Fire. They like hearing Janis Joplin. They love hearing like Bill Witherson, the good jukebox songs.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is that they're typically played in bars. You hear them everywhere, and it makes me sometimes.
Damn, that's good.
You have to ask yourself, like, am I respecting myself when I do that? When I'm just like, yes, I will do that song for you. We get a lot of requests for like I said, Janis Joplin, mostly Bobby McGee. We get a lot of requests for "What's Up" by that
Four Non Blondes?
Four Non Blondes, yeah, yeah. I'll which is, it's not against them. They don't know. They're just asking me to play the song. They're asking us to play the song. And sometimes when I'm away from the crowd, when I'm, I don't have the feedback of my mentors, then I'm like, am I a bar band? Am I a jukebox? Is that all I'm ever going to be?
So, do you feel like you're maybe sometimes viewed as just some like, well, kind of like you said, like a human jukebox? And
only sometimes, but I know it's not personal.
Right.
I mean, I'll do it either way. Of course, there are boundaries, there are exceptions to the rule, but if I can do it, then I'll do it with pleasure. But like, I'll do something that they want, and then they'll be like, "Now do this one." And
does it ever make you feel, I guess, somehow like the whole thing is impersonal, and I'm not sure the way to put it, like I said, I guess you're just a human jukebox. Do you feel like sometimes
I
people
gotta-
forget you're a human being?
I gotta make it personal.
Yeah.
I mean, I care a lot about what people think of our band and about what I'm doing up there, but I really can't focus too hard on that, or it's gonna drive me insane. I gotta do what's appropriate for me.
So in the end, are you still following your heart as opposed to trying to think, well, what's going to make the fans happy? What's going to sell more beer or bring more people in? Are you more concerned about, I got to do what I like to do?
Yeah, that's selfishly. Yeah, we try to. We don't really listen to the people when they ask us like, "You should do this song. You should totally do this one." We're like, "Yeah, buddy," and we just come up with songs ourselves. Like we hear it on the radio, like we would. Oh, that's a good bass part. Davis would love to do that. Or like, oh, that's a great. It's just a great song. We should just do this. Like we're trying to learn Dream Police and
Good song.
Boys and Girls and Black Sheep. Just all these good underground, like Brit pop, punk rock, some like Raging.
It's a machine.
Rage Against the Machine, yeah.
So you're talking about Hard Candy right now, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm not a jukebox with any of the original bands. I mean, that's all on my accord.
And so everything is it's all a part of what somebody in the band wants to do.
Yeah, yeah. It's a democracy.
Because I know I've even years ago, you probably won't even remember, but I even fell into that thing of going, "Hey, I sent you a song. Go, you guys should think about doing this song. I think you'd really do good at it." You probably get that all the time, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I enjoy being sent music. It's I'd like to please everybody, but
You can't, can you?
it's impossible.
So when you're playing, we've sort of talked around this already, but what do you love about it, and what are the worst things about performing live?
What I love about it is the confidence it gives me. I become a completely different person. On stage, I am untouchable. I feel like I could do anything.
And you have that you exude that confidence too. When I've seen you live, I can see
Yeah,
that.
I like strutting, but the worst thing about it, per se, is not knowing if I'm playing the role correctly, which is a really odd take, because everyone like does their own thing, and there's no right or wrong way to do it. It's just like, am I talking enough on the mic? Am I being a good host? Am I like interesting enough? That's mostly what I worry about. I want to be appealing to you. Do I please you? I want to please you.
And so you're constantly critiquing yourself?
Yes.
Does that make you crazy?
Until I die. Yes. Yeah, it does. That's another thing I do by myself alone, is I critique myself.
You know, it's kind of amazing for people like me that are just purely music fans, because we're thinking, God damn, Erin Sena's the shit.
Which I
But
appreciate.
And we don't think about
It's weird to hear.
what's going on in your head and how you're questioning yourself. You know, I mean, because you're just a person like everybody else, but you get put on a pedestal, and that's got to put pressure on you, doesn't it? When everybody thinks you're just fucking amazing.
Yeah. Not much pressure as it does give me like I just maybe it is pressure. I want to live up to those standards. As much as I want to go fuck you, I want to be the best.
Yeah. You want people to come out and like you, right?
Yeah. I want to be just good. I want to be good.
Oh, you definitely good. You're more than good. Believe me.
I'm better than bad. I'm good.
But I could understand where that would. You're always questioning yourself, and it's got to be rough. I mean,
Not as much recently.
you've had a lot of positive reinforcement here lately, right? I mean, with
Yes,
Dave Fortman,
yes.
Jesus, that must make you feel great.
Everyone, not just Dave, everybody in this whole town, everyone I talk to that knows I'm in the band, they're like, if you give this up, then it's just a huge waste. And but before all of this, before I was in a band, I was just dangerously insecure and just completely self-loathing. It's nice to feel and hear acceptance from other people and not have to question it.
So did you kind of have like a Kurt Cobain thing kind of going?
What do you
Like a self-hate, I guess is what I'm kind of... It seemed like he...
Yeah,
just
baby, I'm
couldn't-
like Kurt Cobain.
I mean, it just
No.
seemed like he could never forgive himself for being popular.
No, no, I don't think I'm like that. I thought I was just insecure, just very insecure.
What did you do? You mentioned before you were in the band. What were you doing before that?
Before I was in Hard Candy, or
Well-
before I
well,
was in
Before you were
anything?
even singing at all. What were you doing?
I was struggling. I was struggling. Before I was in a band, I would I would still play music. During lunch hours, they had this piano room in the high school, and I would go there every lunch and I would play. And I would go home, and we had a piano at home, and I just loved playing it. I had my guitar always. That's what my life was. And I had some friends. I had a nice pocket of friends, but it was mostly just school, home, school and home.
So, when did you actually become a musician? Like, as far as guitar and keyboards, when did you learn how to play it good enough to actually play music on them?
Hard Candy. Hard Candy is what brought it out of me.
Really?
Yeah.
So you
In
didn't play
Copperhead,
before that?
I was a singer for a high school band,
Mm-hmm.
and we did originals. They were all the guitarist originals, but we were a bunch of kids, just we were fucking each other. We were angry at each other. We were just this clump of angry cells. We weren't really professionals. We had a CD. We went to we would travel to Lenore and record there. That was my first experience with recording, but it was. We don't know what we're doing.
So you caught the bug then, you think?
Yes. In that recording studio, I thought this is it. This is my legacy. This is actually it.
So you see this, I guess is an obvious question, but is this it for you now? This is your life. This
I
is
am
the
cut
path
from
you're
this
staying
cloth.
on.
This is what I will do forever until I'm dead.
Okay, now I want to go back again to Dave Fortman. Do you guys have a game plan? Is there a place you're heading? I know you said
Not something that I'm confident in, saying a straight date, but it's. I haven't been there since I think May, and that was for shoots for a music video. We have about. I think we have more than 10 songs recorded.
But is it kind of an experimental thing right now, or do you guys already know we're going to record a CD, we're going to
Yes.
go on tour, we're going to
That's
do
what
this?
he has all the songs written. He's writing some new songs. He's just this would be good for you.
So this is a real
He's
thing.
really good at writing songs. I don't have that capability of just being like bam, bam, bam.
But this is a real thing that's going to happen, as far as you know.
Yes.
So cool.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I'm grateful. I got to see an Evanescence platinum record hung on a wall. I got to touch it. I got to play on Elton John's piano. I got to record in a booth that the Moody Blues was in 3 weeks before. I think I'm ready to die now.
that's amazing. Yeah,
I'm
I never knew
okay.
any of that. I'm glad you brought that up. I've never heard that.
It was this is all in it's not Fort Myers, Arcadia, I think.
Arcadia?
Not Arcadia.
Yeah, I was gonna say Arcadia is not really a music
What is
mecca.
It's but it's just before Fort Myers.
Oh, is it that studio?
It's called Dream Studios.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that's where Apocalypse Blues Review recorded. Anyway, I'm not
Probably,
sure.
Yeah.
But they were down there, somewhere down there in that area too.
Yeah,
That's
was
you know who
fascinating.
that is, right?
Yes, I do.
Ray's-
With Ray
yeah.
Boy and Shannon Larkin.
Did you
playing
see
the
them
trumpet.
live?
No, I didn't.
I
He
got
gave
to
me a
see 'em.
CD though.
I saw them live 2 nights in a row. fucking killed it.
I'm sure. I love their CD.
And blues rock is great live. That's a great genre live.
Yeah, it gives a lot of like improvisation there. Like, where I love bands like that where they're just like, take it, Joe. And they're like,
Yeah.
I love that. I'd love to be those kind of musicians, but I'm okay with just listening to them.
Well, and it sounds like you just love the shit, don't you?
I do.
And speaking of loving the shit, I wanted to.
I do. I love other musicians. I love that people do it.
I want to give a shout out to this. This is Sir John's Irish Red.
What is this?
You have one
This
too.
is a 29?
Or did you drink yours?
This is 29.
I'm drinking 17.
Oh, baby, what is that? This is the best thing I've ever
29 is Cider Boys? Is that what
Cider
your
Boys,
tropical wave?
Ooh,
All right.
baby.
So they're both damn good.
It's like chewing some. It's like chewing gum. It's great.
Yeah.
The flavor is there.
This is like, I can't even think of anything I would want to say that's going to be taken wrong, but it's delicious. If you like beer, come down here. This is like sucking the
I'm not a
sweat
beer
out of my
drinker, and
grandma's
I love
socks.
it. That says a lot. It's like candy.
Okay, so I'm going to throw out some more standard questions at you. I know you love Whitney Houston, right?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I love seeing her perform live. I love those notes she hits.
So before I get
That's
into
it.
I'm going to ask you who else amazes you, but before we do that, Whitney Houston, I Will Always Love You. I think a lot of people feel that that's your signature song because it blows
is.
people away. But how hard is it? Can you do it every night? Does your voice got to be just right?
I'd like to think so. Not every night. Sometimes I feel like I'm very lacking, and I'll still get a compliment after the show, and I'm like, thank you. Thank you. I know in my heart that I don't deserve it because I know where I mess up. I know when I can't hit that last key change. Everyone is just so nice.
I don't ever remember hearing you do it, and I think I've heard you do it about 3 times. I don't ever remember hearing anything where I thought you missed the note. But I am sure technically it's an
She's got some
extremely...
big shoes to fill.
That's not an easy song to sing, is it?
It's not. One of my favorite songs of hers is "I Have Nothing," and I play that on the piano for my solo shows. And oh my god, that's my karaoke go-to.
So do you always, are people always asking you to do "I Will Always Love You"?
Yeah,
Is it like your Freebird? Everybody wants you to do it.
yeah, it's better than Freebird though. I'm glad people don't ask me to do that.
Yeah.
And you give them what they want though. You give them a free bird.
Yeah, I've seen you do that before.
Yeah.
But so it's not anything that you're sick of singing? Like, oh God,
Never.
I don't want to do it again.
Never. I'm never sick of singing.
Do you have any songs you're just so tired of singing you don't want to do them anymore? Janis Joplin, maybe?
Chain, chain, chain.
Okay.
That song is kind of, I don't know, I feel kind of, I don't know. I don't feel like I'm worthy of that.
What, doing
Chain. It's like, bop, doom, bop, and it's fun after a while, but I don't know. I think I'm too white to sing that song.
Too white? Okay.
Yeah.
Excuse me. That's funny considering that you slay Whitney Houston, but you're too white for her.
That's also a very, I don't know. She's very empowering. She got some big shoes to fill. I definitely try.
But do you like old 50s, 60s rhythm and blues stuff?
Ooh, yes, I do. Yes, I do. I love doo-wop. I love like Big Bang musical, just big scores. I love them.
So is there anything that you want to do you haven't done yet?
Broadway.
Broadway? You're going to do some
I
Broadway
want to
stuff?
be in Jesus Christ Superstar. I want to
Oh,
play
shit.
Judas.
No shit.
I want to be in a male role on Broadway.
So do you have any inroads into that? Do you see it happening?
Oh,
Or is
maybe.
it just a dream?
Who knows?
I mean, is anybody calling you like, hey, you want to do Judas?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
No, I'm a loser right now.
Well, I
I'd
mean,
love to though. That's if I play Judas in Jesus Christ Superstar one day, I believe everything that I've worked for would be worth it. It would be complete.
Well, so happens I know a guy. I know the guy who did the screenplay for. Well, I don't know him. I interviewed him for Amazing Grace. It was.
Cool.
I don't know. Have you heard of it?
No.
Well, he was the first guy to ever get his very first screenplay on Broadway. The very first one
Whoa.
played on Broadway. I have his phone
That's
number.
incredible.
I should call him and say, "Hey, you interested in a chick playing?"
Look me up.
Yeah.
That's that's why I'm here.
And that probably sounds pretentious. I
Perfect
don't mean
connections.
that. I'm just saying. I mean, since we're talking, I know a guy that does stuff on Broadway, and he's a super cool guy too. Very nice.
Nice. None of them are.
Huh?
That's a given. I'm glad because none of them are good people.
Well, this guy, he is not. He's not. Like I say, he's not really from that world.
Yeah.
He just came into that world because he had some talent. He wrote a great screenplay, and he lucked out, and somebody took him up on it.
Don't you
Very
love it?
first one, very first screenplay played on Broadway. Can you imagine that?
That's incredible.
Some people write their whole life and never get on Broadway. He got on his first one.
I would be telling everybody that. Yeah.
And he's a very humble guy. He's cool. But anyway, this is not about him. This is about you. So
Hey,
let's get back to you.
if you want to hook me up, I'm your Judas. Woman, your fine ointment's brand new and expensive.
So anyway, oh, great knuckle crack.
Thank you. I got all of them.
I heard it.
Yeah. Should mic that up.
So, do you know how to ice skate?
Ice skate. Last time I tried, I wasn't very good, but I can roller skate.
Well,
What
you
is
know,
that like a follow up?
it's just a random question.
Nice.
But I can ice skate and I can't roller skate.
Can you hacky sack?
I don't know. I've never tried. I can masturbate.
Not everyone is good at that.
I don't know. I think it comes naturally, doesn't it? Usually.
I
do you-
never finish.
Do you need to go to class for that?
You
Or
could.
is that internet porn? Is that class? Okay. Probably should get back to you, huh?
Hey,
Um,
I'm just here for the ride. You can talk whatever about whatever.
I'm looking at my my security blanket questions now. Actually, I think we've talked about them. We never did get around to. I know you love Whitney Houston. I never did get back to asking you who else.
Oh man, Chris Cornell,
Oh.
Amy Mann, Kate Bush.
Amy Mann. Till Tuesday, was that the band she was in?
I don't think so.
What was
She might have been. I know that she was a solo artist
Okay.
for
I think
most of her career.
I think she was in a band
But
called Till Tuesday.
She had like
early.
a soundtrack in Magnolia, and that was. That's where I get most of my influence is from a lot of soundtracks. I was a
Okay.
big movie buff as a kid, so that's where I got like my
Okay.
all of my fanage.
So anybody else besides Amy Mann?
Oh, I already said Chris Cornell.
Yeah, and Chris Cornell,
Ah,
great singer. What a
an
shame.
amazing lyricist. "Burn It in My Hand" is my favorite song
Of all time?
Oh no, by him.
Oh, okay.
That's actually not true. And then I'll perform a Chris Cornell song for you later.
Oh, excellent.
On another one of my favorites. It's really hard to choose. Oh man, I really liked as a kid. You know, you hear those Disney songs that have the duets. I was just like, I can do both of those, and that's where I think I got my range, just practicing male and female parts by myself, like a lonely kid.
Do you got to nurse your voice? You got to take care of it, or do you do anything
Yes.
to keep it in? What do you do?
Yes, I do. I learned a lot of vocal exercises from my mom, and some online, and I do them every day. And I drink tea every day. It's my best quality. I've got to take care of it. I'm terrified of losing it. If I don't have my voice, it's like I lose a part of myself.
So it's like catching a cold, like the worst thing that could happen to you?
Yes. Only because I can't sing.
Right.
It's so frustrating. when I try to get out a note and it's not there. Like you can usually just grab it, like that's the note. But when you have to work for it, then it's aggravating.
That's what you got to go through, huh, when you're a singer.
Hey, I'm sure a lot of people have their days.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about your fans.
Oh yeah.
So what is your fan base like? I mean, how do you see them? I mean, is it great, or do you have? I remember one time I was at one of your shows and there was a guy who was really trash and he started dancing and he fell back into your mic. I think your mic actually hit you in the
I
mouth.
chipped my tooth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, so what is it like? I mean, do you love it or is it like, oh,
I gotta.
Yeah.
So they're doing nothing for me except they're giving me their attention. They drive out there. They spend money at the venue. They give me a tip. I can't not appreciate that.
Yeah.
There are a few drunk people, but that's it. They're having a good time.
Yeah.
Who am I to be annoyed with that?
Yeah, drinking kind of goes with it, don't
It's
you
a
think?
party. The whole thing is a party. It's a concert. We try to bring it to you.
Okay. So let me ask you this. I wanted to make sure I got this in.
Yeah.
How do you want to be remembered? You know, when this is all done and you're like 75 years old, what are you hoping your legacy is?
Masturbating.
I can understand that. Be known as a great masturbator.
No, I that's a good question, actually.
I've never
I
thought
guess
of it
it doesn't
before.
really concern me.
I mean, do you want to be remembered as like, oh, she was the greatest vocalist of our time, or she really knew how to masturbate?
It's very flattering, on all accounts. Just, I'd like, maybe that's the bare minimum that I'm asking for. Yeah, that I was a good vocalist.
Well, you were more than a good vocalist. You were a fantastic vocalist.
Thank you.
I can tell you
I
that
really
as a
enjoy
fan.
doing it, and I'm really glad that people enjoy listening to it.
Well, what else you want to say? Got any skeletons in your closet you want to exercise?
Oh, not on camera.
Okay.
Calls without warning, don't make a sound. Trying to keep your heads above it, just keeps pulling you down. Feels like I'm falling, feels like frozen rain, and all these empty faces, they all feel the same. It sets me free. It sets me free. How far does the river flow? How deep does the water go? How long will it hold me down? I'm underwater, I'm drowning. Which way is the way for me? One way down a one-way street. How long will it hold me down? I'm underwater, come find me. It's cold this morning, still coming down. Trying to keep my hands from shaking, rolling on the ground. Feels like I'm falling, feels like there's no more pain. And all these empty days, they all feel the same. And it sets me free. It sets me free. How far does the river flow? How deep does the water go? How long will it hold me down? I'm underwater, I'm drowning. Which way is the way for me? Wrong way down a one-way street. How long will it hold me down? I'm underwater, come find me. So I stood beside the water, I saw reflections in my eyes, and all the world before me, all the years that drive me by. When I saw the world before me, I saw reflections in my eyes, and I pray, take these chains off of me and set me free, and set me free. How far does the river flow? How deep does the water go? How long will it hold me down? I'm underwater, I'm drowning. I'm underwater, come find me. Thank you very much. I'll do. Oh, I got a good one. Tonight, gonna have myself such a good time. I feel alive in the world. I'll turn it inside out. Yeah, I'm floating around in ecstasy. So don't stop me now. Don't stop me, 'cause I'm having a good time. I'm having a good time. A shooting star flying through the sky like a dragon, defying all laws of reality. I'm a racing car passing through and down like Lady Godiva. I'm gonna there's no stopping me. I'm burning through the sky, yeah. 100 degrees, that's why they call me Mr. Fahrenheit. I'm driving at the speed of light. I wanna make a supersonic man out of air. Stop me now, 'cause I'm having such a good time. I'm having a ball now. Don't stop me now if you wanna have a good time. Just give me a call, but don't stop me, 'cause I'm having a good time. Don't stop me, 'cause I'm having a good time. I don't wanna stop at all. Rocket ship on my way to Mars. On a collision course, I'm an illusion. I'm out of control, I'm in on my fighting low. Like an animal, go below, explode. I'm burning through the sky, yeah. 100 degrees, that's why they call me Mr. Fahrenheit. I'm driving at the speed of light. I wanna make a supersonic woman of you. Don't stop me, don't stop me, hey, hey, hey. Don't stop me. Ooh, I think I like it. A good time, a good time, hey, hey, hey. I'm burning through the sky, yeah. 100 degrees, that's why they call me Mr. Fahrenheit. I'm driving at the speed of light. I wanna make a supersonic woman of you. Don't stop me now, 'cause I'm having such a good time. I'm having a ball now. Don't stop me now if you wanna have a good time. Just give me a call, but don't stop me, 'cause I'm having a good time. Don't stop me, 'cause I'm having a good time. I don't wanna stop it all. La 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 la. La 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 la. I got all thrown up now. La 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 la, yeah. You can't make fun of me. That's illegal.
No, that's fucking great.
Yeah.